Welcome to my channel.
I cheated on my husband and it was awful. He knows and I think I'm going to lose him. Don't know how to start, so I just will, I guess. I messed up bad. I was an idiot and I wrote a post yesterday in another sub about wanting an open relationship and my husband found out. That led to a massive fight and he said some things I didn't like, so I left the house and went for a walk. A coworker of mine, he's the man I wanted to be in an open relationship with, gave me a call and invited me to his house. I decided since the conversation had gotten me nowhere I'd just go ahead with it, so I asked him to pick me up and we went back to his house. We had a few drinks and went to the bedroom. He put the TV on and we watched some stupid film for a few minutes. I was feeling frisky, so I made a move and went down on him. The result was disappointing to say the least. He came in about 20 seconds and without warning. He then basically ignored me and went back to the TV. This went on for about an hour, and just as I was started to think about leaving, he began to started to straddle me. I basically just said screw it and went with it. The time was terrible. Like full on mortifying. He refused to go down on me because his tongue was sore from eating Pringles, so we went straight to time and it was just 10 minutes of awkward thrusting. He forgot to pull out too. Afterwards he rolled back over and went back to watching TV. I just got dressed and went straight home. On the way back I did some thinking and realized all I wanted was some excitement to escape the routine, and it's not all it's lived up to be. When it comes to actual time, my husband is far better than anyone else I've been with due to sheer experience, and I wish I'd seen that before. I was also very harsh to him. I put down his size in my last post, but after thinking about it, he's around 7 inches, so he's not that small. I was just letting a fantasy of being with someone else take over. When I got home, my husband was still in the kitchen. I tried to talk to him, but he just put headphones in and started to cook pasta. Eventually he took them off and put the pasta in a bowl. I asked if I could have some and he said he doesn't share and just ate it all. I was exhausted and emotional, so I just went to sleep. He woke me up about an hour later and I thought he was trying to have time or something, but instead he just took my duvet and threw me a towel before going into the living room and setting up to sleep. I got back to sleep after finding a rug. I tried to talk to him while he was on the couch, but he ignored me. I woke up early because it was cold and the heater was off in my room. That gave me some more time to think, and I realized how badly I messed up and I need to work on being a better wife. I tried to talk to my husband all day. He's just unresponsive. I tried to make a move on him and he rejected me and left the room. He's never once done that before. He'd at least go down on me if he was too tired for time, but today he was just completely disinterested in anything at all. I've noticed he hasn't eaten or drank anything today either. He just looked tired. I tried to sit him down and talk to him, but he just got up and left the house. I tried to call him, but it went to voicemail, so I texted him saying I loved him and for the sake of our marriage we need to talk soon. He texted me back saying this: I do not want a conversation nor a marriage with you any longer. I am going to be staying elsewhere until the new year. When I return I expect you to be gone. This was my house before and I don't want you here anymore. I've contacted a lawyer and from now on we will communicate via her. I'm no longer using this number. I've made some calls and apparently my husband is staying at my sister's house. I'm concerned because she's attractive and single and I know she's had a little crush on him for a while now. I have a feeling she's going to use this to try and make a move. I texted her and asked her what's going on and she said she loves me but she's not going to support me after what I did and that we shouldn't talk for a little while. I understand I messed up, but she's my sister and she's supposed to be there for me right now, not playing housewife to my husband. I have a friend who lives near my sister and she told me that apparently my husband and sister were shopping together earlier and that she was acting like his girlfriend. I really don't know what to do about that, but I feel betrayed. I love my sister, but I hate her right now for what she's doing. I just hope my husband doesn't let her have her way with him. This has been a really long day and so much has happened and I really don't know what to feel or do right now. I just want things to be normal again. Sorry for the essay, but I just wanted to vent a bit. I know I ducked up, but I never thought it would get this bad. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, let's get one thing straight. Your sister did not betray you. She does not owe you anything and she did nothing wrong. She is an adult and what she chooses to do is her business, not yours. On the other hand, you betrayed your ex-husband. Yes, ex-husband, even if you're still legally married, he is not your husband and you have zero claim over him. You are the one who broke your vows, not her, not him, and you should deal with the repercussions like an adult. There is no situation where you get to feel hurt. There is no situation where you are a victim. There is no situation where you are anything but a disgusting liar. There is no situation where you didn't get exactly what you deserve. I really hope you can grow up one day and see that men are more than just their ability to get your rocks off. Also, I really would like to point out the hypocrisy of your comment about not being his property, because while you are right in that sense, you still fail to see that you are treating him like your property by diminishing him to be little more than a meat rod to serve at your pleasure, and shaming him for being small. He's not BTW. It's unfathomable to me that 7 inches means more to you than 9 years. You should be ashamed. Next time, buy a dildo. It is much less expensive than a divorce. Redditor follow-up. Also, I want to point out how you think you, his ex-wife, have a say in who he fucks, yet when he very clearly told you he did not want you having time with other people, as his wife at the time, you still kept pushing it and making plans to cheat on him. You're the definition of entitled. Redditor 2. Unfortunately, this is one of those be careful what you wish for situations. You wanted an open relationship so you could go be with other people too. Well, congratulations, the relationship is wide open and you can be with whoever you want. But, in the process, you've basically told your husband that you're not happy or satisfied with your marriage to him and that he's not enough for you. You may not have intended that, but it's clear from his reaction that it's what he heard and he was deeply hurt. I can tell you that moving forward from something like that is extremely difficult. Once something like that is said and out there, it's always there, weighing on you. Rather than live in misery believing he isn't enough for you and that you're unhappy with the marriage, it seems like he decided to cut his losses and give you the freedom you want. And, considering you cheated on him with your coworker, like immediately after fighting with your husband, you don't really get to be jealous about him staying with your sister. Hopefully your sister is loyal enough to you to not complicate the situation further, but, if it happens, well, that's turnabout. Figure out a place to stay and work on starting a new single life because that's where your path is going now. Redditor 3, you deserve it. You wanted an open relationship 9 years into a marriage, cheated on him multiple times, told him he's not enough for you sexually, and most likely destroyed his self-esteem in the progress. You were meant to be his partner for life. You were meant to lift him up and work with him no matter the situation, and you failed. He deserves much better. You reap what you sow. Redditor 4, I actually read your other post before you deleted it. Unfortunately, polyamorous open relationships don't work unless everyone involved wants one. He clearly didn't, which makes you incompatible, and it sounds like he realized that after reading your post about it. I hope that you enjoy your new freedom and that he finds someone who only wants to be with him. Edit, I'm really not sure what you expected to happen. He immediately made it clear that he didn't want that, and you then went behind his back and started planning to cheat. Said that in the deleted post. And then you did it. I think his reaction is quite reasonable. Redditor 5, I'm just laughing at he's around 7 inches so he's not that small. Redditor 6, just ask FYI, you may have deleted the original post where you shamed and belittled your former husband, but you should know that it is all over social media. That being said, wasn't it you who said if he wants to find time elsewhere I'll accept that as long as no feelings are involved? So say your former husband got drunk and ducked your sister out of grief. Well, that would be in line with your requirements for outside time and therefore you have no reason to be mad. On a second note, you made some comments about polyamorous relationships working out long term. And while this is true, I need to be explicitly clear here. I say what you had was not a polyamorous relationship. You cheated on your husband whether you admit it or not, and now you're paying the price. The biggest component to a polyamorous relationship is all parties are consenting. When your husband voices his objections and you decided to go ahead with it, you became a cheater. When your coworker kissed you and you didn't tell your husband, you were cheating. When you slept with him, your coworker, you were cheating. Period. As for your sister, it may be a bit strange that she invited him to stay with her. It may be wrong that she is using this as an opening, and it may be true that they have slept together or will in the past. But do not forget that you said your sister has always been flirty with him. You said you've been married for 9 years and not once did he go after your sister, who by your description would have been down. You are the person who set these events in motion when you decided to think only of yourself. Now you get to live with your choices. Redditor follow up, she and her sister are from the same bushel. Thus it's not really surprising that she's DTF, I'm afraid. Redditor 7, not sure if you are stupid, a sociopath, or just entitled AF. Redditor 8, I found this story on social media and I just came here to say, you're an ex now and you deserve it. Your sister isn't wrong, you are. You said marriages were a compromise, but that only works for things in the marriage, not for who you're married to. Plus he said no, there has to be an agreement between both parties before you go from monogamous to polyamorous. Edit, sorry I saw it on my egg feed. Redditor follow up, I heard that the original post is floating around on social media. Do you have any idea where I can find it now that she's deleted hers? Redditor 9, wow, so now you are married and worried. You stepped out of your marriage at S-time with another man. Trust me, your husband knows. You had the S-time bareback. The only reason you were upset because the S-time stunk. No offense, you cheated. You broke your vows. Found out the outside the marriage wasn't necessarily better. Now suddenly you found out how good you had it. You insulted him, destroyed his feelings. Made fun of him. You really did mess up. There is no coming back. Redditor 10, anonymous or not, what woman posts such intimate details about her spouse's body? You feel betrayed, but you betrayed your husband. Just because she's your sister doesn't entitle you to receive emotional support in this situation. I think you need to enlist the help of someone like a therapist to talk to for support. Your husband is going through the stages of grief and you have to accept that any reparation is in his time and terms. You can help him by getting individual help for yourself. Redditor 11, you're pathetic for a woman. I bet you are still in touch with women who are doing what you once wanted to do. What happened to your affair partner? Where was he among all this BS? Nowhere. That partner left you. Your husband needs a woman who will be by his side regardless of the situation. You're like every other modern woman, always leaving their husbands and boyfriends at the slightest of suffering. You're pathetic as a wife. You're pathetic as a woman. Go find someone else. Perhaps an old geezer as a suggestion. Why did I tell you all this? It's because one of my own parents cheated. Though they are now on somewhat good terms, they were animalistic towards one another. I hope you learn your lesson. Let him go. Let him be healed without you around. You screwed up. Own it. Redditor 12, are you serious? You plan on cheating on him, already have another DCK lined up, get into a fight with your husband because he doesn't want you spreading your legs for every guy who winks at you, so you immediately jump into bed and have unprotected S-time with your co-worker. And then you complain because your husband didn't go down on you? Remember that towel he threw at you? Did you think that maybe your co-worker's comb was leaking out of you and your husband felt it? Geez. Credit where due. When you duck up a relationship, you do it in grand style. You got what you deserved and I hope your husband does too. His should be a lot happier prize, though. Redditor 13, I'd like to be positive here, but nothing posted here indicates you deserve to be taken back. I'm not even going by past posts. This post alone shows how little you valued your marriage or husband. I was an idiot and I wrote a post yesterday in another sub about wanting an open relationship and my husband found out. How did you think the conversation was going to go? Honey, I know we have been married 9 years, but I want to duck this co-worker of mine. There is no way in hell that will go well. That led to a massive fight and he said some things I didn't like, so I left the house and went for a walk. He gets mad that you want to screw your co-worker and what do? You go out and duck the guy anyway. Seriously, how do you know? See the damage there? He forgot to pull out too. And you didn't even have the decency to use a condom. Despite him not wanting an open relationship, you have unprotected S-time with a guy that night and are surprised that things go badly? I just got dressed and went straight home. When I got home, my husband was still in the kitchen. I tried to talk to him, but he just put headphones in and started to cook pasta. You left the hose. Duck the coworker unprotected. And you might not know this, but there is smells from dried sperm and vaginal discharge. He gets a whiff at that the second you enter the kitchen. What in the world do you expect from this level of disrespect for yourself, your marriage, and your husband? I tried to talk to my husband all day. He's just unresponsive. I tried to make a move on him and he rejected me and left the room. He's never once done that before. He'd at least go down on me if he was too tired for time, but today he was just completely disinterested in anything at all. I've noticed he hasn't eaten or drank anything today either. He just looked tired. Do you think your husband is stupid? That he couldn't find out your location and know you went straight over to duck your co-worker and came home just after ducking him? That he could literally smell the time you had? And you think he'd go down on you? He is probably disgusted and repulsed at the idea of even touching you. I'd like to phrase it nicer than that, but how do you describe something that horrible in a nice way? I have a friend who lives near my sister and she told me that apparently my husband and sister were shopping together earlier and that she was acting like his girlfriend. I really don't know what to do about that, but I feel betrayed. I love my sister, but I hate her right now for what she's doing. I just hope my husband doesn't let her have her way with him. Your sister didn't throw away a marriage. Your sister didn't plan to betray him. Your sister didn't have unprotected time with another man. Your sister didn't come home after doing it and rub your husband's face in it. If your sister shows him the love and respect he didn't get from you, that is your fault. And since you opened the marriage, by your logic they could have time right now and you have zero reason to hate her. You opened the marriage. Did you not think he could have time with another woman as well? That is the open marriage you wanted, yet you were upset at the thought of him doing what you just done with your co-worker. If you ever get married again, make better choices, but don't expect your sister and ex to be there. Redditor 14, you deserve this. Honestly, I hope he leaves you for your sister, because hey, maybe he's just not that excited when you two have time anymore. He orgasms every time, but it feels like a transaction for him. You just named yourself, and I'm so glad a cheater like you got what they deserve. Redditor 15, karma. That's all I gotta say. I hope he does get you back and sleep with her, but honestly, I think you're just projecting your actions, feelings onto him. I think he's devastated and looking for moral support after being publicly betrayed by his wife and then cheated on. I hope he moves on and finds a happier life with someone who truly loves, respects, and appreciates him. Redditor 16, you deserve everything that happens to you. Your husband truly deserves anyone other than you. You lied, cheated, and tried forcing an open relationship on this poor man. Redditor 17, saw this post on Instagram and had to come on here to mention one thing. This king. He refused to go down on me because his tongue was sore from eating Pringles. Redditor 18, so what I'm getting here is if your AP was actually good in bed you would be in a totally different mood. Why should your husband stay with you? Not only that, but you let a man who is in compassion a stranger finish inside of you. Disgusting. Let the man go. Your betrayal has dug your marriage's grave and no man worth his salt would ever see you as anything but a cheater. Redditor 19, it is an unending legion of women complaining about the lack of good men. You had one for 9 years, now he on the market, so if any woman of actual worth is looking, he is single now. Redditor follow up, it's crazy, right? The complaints about a lack of good men. Women don't just get to have a good man without offering up anything. Want a good man to stay with you? Realize how lucky you are and be a good woman back. It's not rocket science, but I'm amazed I even need to write this point out. Redditor 20, good for your husband for ghosting you. Redditor 21, why would your husband ever want you again? You told him you want to duck other men and you did. He wasn't on board with it and he should divorce you. When he finds out you binged the guy, it's certainly over. Absolutely disgusting behavior by you. Redditor follow up, that is if he didn't find out. Remember when the husband threw a towel at her? He probably saw the AP's cum dripping out of her. Absolutely disgusting. Redditor 22, wait. No one is going to address that fact that Op went down on a co-worker, let him be inside her without protection and let him finish inside and then go home and expect her husband to go down on her while his sperm drips from her vagina? Op, are you insane? That is the nastiest thing someone can do to a supposed loved one. Disgusting and disrespectful. And then Op says that she would feel betrayed if husband goes through with the open marriage? I'm sorry, Op. You cheated, so you don't have the right to stop your husband from doing the same. Op, you didn't allow your husband to pick who you had time with, so you can't stop him from having time with your sister and her becoming his side piece. Redditor 23, I never thought it would get this bad. What did you think was going to happen? You thought you'd live happily ever after with your husband? No, boo-boo, this isn't a fairy tale where things magically work out. You ducked up, at least you admit that, but you royally ducked up. Let him go, it's the least you can do after how much pain and hurt you caused him. For fuck's sake, you had one job as a wife, not to cheat, and you couldn't even keep your panties up. Karma is coming. Redditor 24, she's my sister and she's supposed to be there for me right now. You were supposed to be there for your husband like he was there for you. Everything suggests you're not sorry for anything aside from getting caught. I hope this is a lesson to you. Redditor 25, women like you make me fear getting married and turn decent men into scumbags. Redditor 26, so instead of addressing your own inadequacies and shortcomings, and ask yourself why you wanted to cheat in the first place. No, instead you tore and ripped this man apart, all for your own selfish attempt to make yourself look like a victim. Also, you can have the validation so it can justify your actions. And asking to open up your marriage was just another excuse so you could cheat, bottom line. That's just another cheater's tactic. When he turned that down and got angry, rather than accepting that answer, you started a fight and went and cheated on him. Which proves the point. Now I have a question. What if the time with your AP was as amazing as you build it up in your head? Would you be giving a shit if your ex was at your sister's or any other girl's right now? No, you would be at your AP house right now getting your back blown out. But because you didn't get what you wanted from your AP and now your sister has your ex-husband's attention, now you are throwing a tantrum like a toddler. The simple truth is this: you do not care about your husband. You showed it on so many levels. I mean, you literally had another's man coming out of you and you still try to have your husband go down you or sleep with you. You are truly a heartless and soulless bastard. Now, what if your husband slept with your sister or some other girl and come home and let you suck his DCK? I say give him an unattested divorce. Let him go find happiness, and if that happens to be your sister, don't say a ducking thing about it. Besides, you need so serious help. And you should stay away from people until you get it. Because you are clearly a narcissist. Redditor 27, you should have posted this on relationship advice as an update. Redditor 28, Lamau, you deserved it. Redditor 29, what a ducking idiot. What did you think was going to happen? That it was going to be happy family after you cheated? Redditor 30, how selfish must someone be to let another man come in them then expect their husband to go down on them? Wow, and don't think this is a stirred of the moment thing. He probably noticed your selfishness a long time ago and started to get his duck in a row. He was out the door a long time ago and you lost him a long time ago. Thank you for watching. Comment what do you think about this situation. Don't forget to like and subscribe.